they would always default to, let's go to ChatGPT. And now they became aware that they actually have a choice in terms of an open source model, a locally hosted model, or a commercially provided model.
We are a University of Applied Sciences in the IT department, and I specialize in the application of generative AI. So we saw AI adoption growing very quickly with students and with staff, but it was all on personal devices, personal accounts, commercial subscriptions, and as an institution we didn't have any control over that. And we didn't have any oversight on what AI was being used for how much money and where all our data went.
In the pilot phase, it was up to us as the pilot team to determine which models and which inference providers we wanted to connect. But the more users you get on board, the more it becomes an organizational question. It becomes a question of strategy. Which providers do we want to work together with, and which partners do we want to keep out?
The goals were to manage the access to AI. There are a couple non-negotiables. First is equal access. Secondly, the institution needs to align with the AI Act, the European law around the use of AI. And the third is that we have a specific use case for the use of AI, and that is that our students don't only use the chat clients, but they also need access to AI to integrate into their own software development projects. Yeah, so what we looked for in the architecture is a way to decouple the access of AI, so that we can, on one hand, choose different front ends. So that's how we came up with the gateway ideas. When looking at what is available in the market, we found Portkey.
So now we are using Portkey for a little over a year.
We have a central layer, the gateway, in which we can manage the budgets and the access. And then we have an external layer, which is the field of providers that's available in the world. So now we moved away from a situation where people could only rely on personal accounts and personal access without any oversight and control, to a situation in which we as an institution do have oversight and control over the use of AI. Portkey is a very flexible system that's easily extendable. It offers all the functionality that we needed. We build our own admin UI around the system so that we can easily manage the API keys in our system.
There are a couple of steps that we undertake every week or every month. And one of those steps, for example, is evaluating the model catalog, which Portkey allows us to easily update, so we can adapt the models that we want to offer to our users, so we keep track of what happens in the market. I think one of the major advantages that we see is, of course, the zero-day turnover time in implementing a new model, which is really nice.
The gateway helps us to manage the budgets, to control access. Equal access for all users and alignment with the legislation, with the AI Act. We have one central point in which all traffic can be monitored and all access can be arranged and all budgets can be managed.
But in practice, the contact with the development team and support that you need are really valuable to us.